Hi friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please go at your own pace, rest whenever you need to, and feel free to skip things or change things if they're not working for you today. Let's begin standing. So you can come into a hip-width apart stance, feet parallel, little bend in your knees so you're not locking, and we'll begin with eyes closed. If you don't want to close your eyes, you can also take a soft gaze towards the floor. Start to slow down your breath. And standing here in stillness, notice the movement of your breath, the expanding and releasing of your rib cage. The little movements your whole body is making to keep you in balance. And there's probably a slight shifting of weight. You might even be aware of your heart beating or your pulse. Even in this very simple pose, there's a lot of subtlety to notice if we tune into it. You can let your eyes open, and feel free to open and close your eyes as it's useful for you. Let's start by warming up the ankle joints. You can take your right foot and rotate around the ball of the foot. Still a little bend in the supporting leg, a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And then the left foot, a few times one way, a few times the other way. Rotate your hips, both directions. And then take the right arm, circling it back. And you can vary the speed, couple fast ones, couple slow ones, the quality, whether you're isolating at your shoulder or letting it move through the torso. Right arm forward. And then left arm back. Exploring the full range of motion. And then forward. And then take both arms up and start to circle one arm forward and the other arm back. This is for the brain as much as for the body. If you get lost, start at the top again and then try one arm forward, the other arm back. If you have it easily slow, you might do a couple fast. And then release that. Take a swing, shake out, letting your arms hit your body. Engaging your core. Slow that down. And then bring the hands into light fists and pat all the soft parts of your legs. The outsides, the insides, the fronts, the backs. Waking up through touch. Gently on your hips, bum, lower back, belly. Both arms, all the soft parts. Gently on your chest, shoulders, and And then take your fingertips into your face and head. So waking things up with touch. And then shake it out. Shake out your hands and arms. Shake out your legs and feet. Shake your butt. Whole body. And then step up to the front of the mat, and you could imagine gathering the energy up from the floor, from the ground, all the way up. Feet can be together or apart, but drawing up. Long spine. Slow, steady breath, and we'll take a full A series sun salutation. Next, inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, coming through high push-up. Lower down, chaturanga. Come into your back bend. Up dog or cobra, maybe an extra couple breaths in this first one. How is this? Do you want to take it gently or deep? And then back to down dog when you're ready. Take your time getting into this first down dog of class. You might pedal out your feet a little bit, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor. Waking up the backs of your legs. And then drop your knees and sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels, forehead to the floor. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left, and then pull back through the right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through the left hip, stretching left side a bit more. Back to center. Let's come up through table. Back through down dog. And then walk your hands and feet towards one another, and let's hang in ragdoll. Letting go of what's not needed here. Let the weight of your head hang. The upper body hang. If you need some support through your arms, feel free to rest elbows on thighs or hands on ankles or blocks. Bend your knees a little more. And then roll up to standing. Okay, let's take this sun salutation a little bit more fluidly. You can move at your pace, of course. Follow your breath. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. 5 breaths here. You can also come back to child's pose or sitting or onto your forearms or knees, any neutral shape. Each time we rest, choose a shape that actually feels like a rest for you. Last breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Arms up. Release arms down. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. This time from down dog, take your right leg up, bend your knee in, and start circling this bent right knee. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a few times. Big circles both directions. Take your leg a little higher and then bring your right knee towards right upper arm. Extend it up and back. Take it across towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward. High lunge. Arms up. Sink low. Each inhale, look for space, length, expansion. Each exhale, more grounding, more ease. One more breath here. Tip forward. Standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple blocks. We'll do this with hips square and with the upper body letting go. Like ragdoll, let your head hang, let your neck release. Stretching that left leg straighter, longer, higher, but letting it be where it gets. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one. Inhale, arms up. Sink low. Last breath here. Release, make your way to down dog. Maybe taking a vinyasa, high to low push-up, up dog or cobra to down dog. But you can also skip any part of this or add your own movement or pause. From down dog, left leg sweeps up, bend your knee in and start circling. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, circle your ankle a few times, both directions. Take your leg a little higher, and then left knee towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Take it across towards right upper arm. Send it up and back. And right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward. High lunge, arms up. Settle in. One more breath here. Tip forward. Standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. Let the head hang. Keep reaching that back leg longer so it doesn't just go where it's comfortable, but right where your edge is, what's possible. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one. Last breath here. Release. Make your way to down dog. And then settle into a good rest, whether that's down dog, child's pose, sitting, or something else. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog. And step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Let's bend the knees and come into chair, Utkatasana. Hips low, head high, shoulders low, fingers high. Feel what's going up, what's going down. One more breath here. Release, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior 3, shift forward and find your balance. Feel free to modify or adjust this however you need to, working with your body where you're at right now and feeling what you are doing. One more breath here. Step back. Warrior 1. From here, let's come into eagle arms, right elbow on top. Put some pressure between the elbows as if you're trying to pull them apart to help spread the upper back. Hips low, heart high. Shift your weight forward, come onto the toes, that back foot, and then step into eagle, Garudasana. Knee on top of knee. If you can, hook your ankle around your calf, do so. If it doesn't reach, just hug it in close. Last breath here. Unwind, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Feel free to bend the supporting leg or use a block for your supporting hand. Opening up the torso, rolling open through the left hip, the left shoulder. Last breath here. Release. Optional handstand swings. If on your way back to down dog you want to take a couple of swings, you are welcome. You can of course skip this, just like you can skip everything. Feel what you are choosing to do. Eventually, making your way to down dog. Slow, deep breath. Next inhale, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior 3. Modifying or adjusting however you need to, feeling where you are, extending long. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior 1. Eagle arms, left elbow on top. Open up the chest, sink the hips. By dropping the tailbone and lifting the belly, can you feel an opening in the front of the right hip? Shift your weight forward, come onto the toes, that back foot, and then step into eagle, Garudasana, knee on top of knee, deep bend in the supporting leg. Last breath here. Release, unwind. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Expanding. And keep going. Is there any more length, space, reach? While you're doing all of that work, is there anything to let go of? Could you soften what's not needed, finding ease, even here? Last breath. Release. Optional handstand swings. You can do them or not. They might be big or small, graceful or clunky. Letting it be how it is. Making your way to a good rest. Letting go. Last breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up. Inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Again, inhale, chair. From here, let's take a twist. Left elbow across to the outside of the right knee. If you can't get your elbow, you might use your forearm. Work the palms towards the center of the chest, opening through the top shoulder. See if you can keep your knees in line with one another. So if your left knee is pulling forward, draw it back. Last breath here. Back to center, hips low, arms high. Same thing other side. Right elbow across. Continuing to look for length as you rotate. Last breath here. Back to center, hips low, arms high. Interlace fingers behind your back. Lift the chest. Fold forward, wrapping arms overhead. And you're welcome to separate your feet, hip width apart or wider. You can also separate your hands if this is too tight for your shoulders by holding a strap or sock, scarf, something between your hands. Let's release the arms all the way down. Lower the hips, come into a squat, Mulabanda. If your heels don't easily come to the floor, you're welcome to widen your stance or turn the toes out. If they still don't come to the floor, it's fine to balance on the toes as long as that feels okay for you. If it doesn't feel okay, you could sit on a block or something or slide something under the heels. Finding how this works for you. Open up the knees using the elbows, and as best you can, roll your shoulders back and down and lengthen the back of the neck. So the back of the neck follows the rest of the spine. From here, we'll work our root lock, Mulabanda, same as a Kegel exercise. As you exhale, draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up. As you inhale, release that. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. And then engage and keep holding, keep breathing, drawing in strongly through the bottom, connecting that to the top, feeling the full length and space that you take up. And then release. Let's come back to a forward fold. Any arm position, any movement. Could grab your big toes. Could take a handful of your hair and give your
head a little pull towards the floor. Give your neck and shoulders a little squeeze. And then take a little step back from the front of the mat. Let's try crow pose. If you don't want to do crow today, you're welcome to stay in your forward fold or come back to your squat. If you want to try it, hands are shoulder width apart, knees somewhere to the upper arms, anywhere from the elbows to the armpits. Shift your weight forward, more weight in the hands, less weight in the feet. If the feet become weightless, you might lift them up. If they're not yet weightless, see if you can be where you are. Perhaps shift more weight into your hands and feel your breath. Let's release. Drop the feet back down. Release your wrists either by rubbing them, circling them, or coming to stand hand. If you're able, you might slide your hands under your feet so the toes are up to the wrists. Pushing the toes into the pads of the hands, a little self-massage. Let's release. We'll make our way to down dog. If you want to take crow again and work on hopping out of crow, you're welcome. You can also just step back or take a regular vinyasa to get back. Just feel what you're choosing to do. Eventually, finding your way to downward facing dog. From down dog, right leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge, arms up. Let's take a twist here. Left elbow across. And there are many other variations of this. If you would prefer, you could drop the back knee and do a low lunge. You could take a different arm position. You can look down, out, or up. Last breath. Release, hands to the floor or blocks if you have them. Drop the back knee. You're welcome to pat it by rolling up the side of the mat or using a blanket or cushion. Let's come to a hamstring stretch. Inch the front foot forward and then flex the toes back so you end up with hips right above the back knee, hands right under shoulders, as high as you need them. So if it's difficult to reach the floor, first check, are your hands somewhere other than under the shoulders? It's further away if they're out or in front of you. So bring them right under your shoulders and as high as you need to. If you don't have blocks, you can bend the front leg a little bit and use support on your leg. Going towards hip square, towards a flat back, towards folding. And if any of you want to go towards splits, that's an option. Please don't overstretch. Listen to your body where you are now. If you did slide forward, slide your way back. Bring both hands to the inside, turn out through the front foot, lizard pose. You might come down to your elbows on blocks or the floor. Feel free to shift your weight more one way or the other. By tucking the toes under, you can scoot your hips forward or back. And if you want to add a quad stretch, you can try bending the back leg, drawing it in. If that doesn't work for you, don't do it, and don't worry about it. Feeling where you are. release. Make your way to hands shoulder width apart, tuck the back toes, lift the hips to plank height, and then we're going to come into a side plank. Before we do, shimmy the right foot a little further back to make the transition easier. And then you can shift onto your left hand, outer edge of the left foot, and either keep the right foot on the floor or stack it, or take it to the floor behind you, or up on your leg, or grab hold of it. Lots of options. Some side plank. You can also come down onto your forearm if this does not feel like a good idea for your wrist. Feel where you are, your strength here. And then release. Make your way to down dog, maybe through a vinyasa, maybe just stepping back, taking the time you need. And then from down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge, arms up. Come into a twist here, right elbow across. Last breath. Release, hands to the floor or blocks. Drop the back knee. Take the hips back, inch the front foot forward, flexing toes back, hamstring stretch. Feeling how it is. Especially when you've done these poses before, it can be easy to go on autopilot, go by memory. But we want to take in the real-time feedback. How is this now? If you shifted forward on the other side, you might try it again on this side, but listening, is that a good idea? What amount is a good idea? And at any moment, you might go deeper or you might back out a little, so you stay at your edge, not beyond it. If you did shift forward, shift your way back. Bring both hands to the inside, turn out through the left foot, and come down to lizard pose. How does it feel to be here? Is there some variation you want to take? If you did take a quad stretch on the other side, try that again. Let's release, coming up to the hands, shoulder width apart, tuck the back toes, lift the back knees. You're at plank height, shimmy, left foot down, and then open up, coming onto your right hand, outer edge of the right foot, and take whatever variation of side plank you did on the other side. Feeling what it's like to be here, strong core supporting you, lots of length, lots of pulling up, reaching out. And then release. Let's lower all the way down onto the belly. And turn your head to one side, resting here. You can bring your hands under your head or your arms back by your legs. Letting the weight of your body release. And then turn your head to neutral, reach the arms forward, the legs back. Lift up through the arms and legs, just a couple of inches off the floor. Really long. Trying to have your arms even with your ears, so you might drop your head a little bit, lift the arms a little, shoulders are dropped though. Reaching through fingers, toes, head, tailbone. Last breath here. Release. Turn your head the other way. Let go. And then reach out again. This time bring your legs together. Inner legs touching, big toes touching. Reach out, come up. Squeeze the inner legs together, especially if this is difficult. Good medicine. Take the arms out to the side, letting the chest come up a little higher, and then reach arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers, reaching knuckles straight back, but head forward. Legs are still squeezing together. Keep the legs together. Release arms out to the side, arms back even with the ears. And then let go. Let's bend the knees and reach back for the outsides of the feet. Try and have the knees just hip width apart, setting up for bow pose, Garudasana. Kick your feet into your hands. Let the strength of your legs lift your chest. Release, come down, rest. Based on how that felt, you might do the same thing again. You might stay resting. You might take something more gentle, a little Sphinx or Cobra or other belly down back bend. So take the back bend of your choosing. Feel where you are. And when it feels complete, come down and rest. Take a little windshield wiper side to side with the shins. And then come back to child's pose, spreading the back. Take any movement here or variations here. Could take rabbit pose, grabbing the heels and pulling against them. Let's come through down dog and into a pigeon pose, right side. Slide the right knee forward. Scoot back through the left leg, help the hips get as low as they'll go. And then come down and rest. Feel free to set up support, something under your hip or chest or forehead. Let's take the upper body back up. Make your way to down dog. You might take a vinyasa. There could be some other movement transition that feels useful.
Maybe just pedaling out the feet a little bit. And then when you're ready, coming into pigeon on the left side. Taking your time, setting up the angle, setting up any support, and surrendering towards the floor. Let's bring the upper body back up. Again, take your time finding your way through any movement transition. Let's come all the way through to sitting and onto our backs. You can bring your knees to your chest. Take a little circle or rock with your knees, massaging the lower back and sacrum into the floor. And then let's set up for a supported bridge. So you will need some props for this. Blocks are great if you have them. If not, you might find a couple hardcover books and throw a towel over it. Firm cushion, rolled up blanket, foam roller. Lots of things could work. Find what you need and place it behind the sacrum. So that's a little lower than the lower back. You can play around with the height and firmness. If what you're using is too hard on your body, then cover it up with something. If it's too soft and you're sinking in, find something harder. And then once you've gotten what you need in place, let the weight of your hips rest. Let's bring the right knee in. And then grab hold of the right knee and hug it as close in as you can. From here you can straighten the left leg and let that straight left leg hang towards the floor. So the front of the left hip opens up. Let's switch sides, bring the left knee in, grab hold of it, straighten the right leg and let that straight right leg hang, opening up the front of the right hip. When you feel even on the two sides, come to neutral. So that could be both knees in, both legs extended either up in the air or along the floor, or both feet back on the floor. So choosing one of these positions and then settling into it. And if you need to adjust the height or placement of your blocks or props, go ahead and do that. This is a very gentle inversion. The hips are higher than the heart. If your legs are up, the effect of gravity is different on the legs. Very little effort required here. Just a little bit so you don't fall off your blocks, but how much can you let go? Can you totally relax your hands, your arms, your shoulders, your face, your belly. Even if the legs are up, can you find a position where it's almost like the bones are stacked and the muscles are hanging on the bone? You can make your way out of the pose. If your legs are up, drop them down, moving your blocks out of your way. And you can transition right into your final resting pose, unless you're needing something else. If there is some last pose or stretch that you'd like to do before coming into stillness, take your time. If there's a part of your body that could help, could use some help letting go, take your time. Eventually settling into stillness, letting go of all the effort. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Let this movement increase. Eventually stretching out through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in and roll to one side. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. Bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks for choosing my videos and practicing with me. I'm so glad that you did. Love to hear from you if you're enjoying these or if you have requests for future offerings. If you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate you subscribing to my YouTube channel, liking my Facebook page, joining my Facebook group, Chandra Cantor Yoga Community. Financial contributions are always appreciated, but not necessary. If you can't afford it, you can still let me know you're enjoying these. That feeds my soul in another way. And if you are able to contribute financially, any amount makes a difference. Venmo, PayPal, Patreon are all ways to do that. And those of you that are able to contribute more, you are subsidizing this for others. So I appreciate that. They appreciate that. So thank you so much for your support.